Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. It looks like we already have a good crowd going, so I'm really excited to see that. I am going to kick things off for us today. Just a caveat at the beginning, this will be recorded, so if you have to drop early, don't worry about that. And Santoshi, if you could go to the next, okay, perfect. So I'm Rochelle Blanchard. For those of you who don't know me already, I work in our customer experience engineering team, and I'm joined today by Mabel and Santoshi, who are from our Windows servicing and delivery team. They've got some great content to present to you today, and they're also looking for some good feedback. So please be honest, be candid with us. You can put it directly in the Q&A. We'll also be answering questions throughout the event. I mentioned that this is recorded, so it will be available for anyone who has to drop, or if anyone of your colleagues want to watch it after the fact, it will also be available. Ask questions, provide feedback, give comments. We want all of that. Please be respectful. I think that goes without saying. No tolerance for anything hateful or unprofessional. We'll have to pull you out, so let's not do that. I also wanted to call out that we have a new space that's going to be published next week called Windows Thrive. This is technically the first event as part of that platform, but it will be a space for all of our events, all of our new technical documentation, everything new in the Windows space will be on that page. So keep an eye out for that. It will be everywhere, but we're really excited about it. We think it's going to be really valuable to our customers. So with that, I would like to kick things off and hand it over to Mabel. So Mabel, if you would like to.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Happy to be with you and happy to answer questions and make this as a conversation. Going over the agenda, we're going to start with Windows Release Health that we call WHR, sites goals, and key resources. We had some new features being released this month and we're excited to share with you. Then we're going to talk about the Windows Release Health experience and key features in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. We're going to demo how it works, where you can find information. After that, you're going to go through an overview of the Admin Center alerts and weekly digest. So we're going to show the emails you're going to receive and how they look like, how the information is structured. Following that, we're going to go over the Windows Release Health experience on the Microsoft Learn site. That is a public open website that everybody has access to. And lastly, we're going to go through an open conversation. We're going to hear feedback if you have ideas how you can make the sites better, or even other sites that you should be sharing our information. And we also want you to feel free to share questions at any point. Like between all these bullet points, between all these parts, you're going to start to take a look at the questions and comments, and you're going to talk about this before going to the other points, other topics. So going to the next slide, I'm going to give you an overview of the Windows Release Health experience. It's a one-stop shop. It's a place you can go to learn about the latest feature and quality updates, including oops, out of bands. So every time you have a patch Tuesday, be release, we're going to announce them. We're going to share the highlights of this release. If you have when you have the preview release, the optional non-security review release, we're going to talk about it. We're going to have links. We also use this website to document issues introduced by Windows updates or affecting Windows users, even if it's an issue from another product like Defender, .NET. We're going to document it there if you know that Windows IT admins are having trouble managing it and need extra support. We also are very careful for hardening changes. We know that a lot of Patch Tuesday updates, they have they address vulnerabilities, and they do that throughout a calendar. And you have multiple phases for enforcing the changes to protect you. So we have received customer feedback saying that's hard to track all of them. I need to remember key dates for multiple hardening, changing work streams that I'm managing. So we keep posting reminders. Like next month you have to take action on this. Today have to take an action on that. So it's a good place for you to keep receiving reminders. We also announce lifecycle milestones and reminders that this version of Windows is reach end of servicing, or today, or in 3 months, or in 30 days. So it's a good place to keep up with the information too. We document safeguard holds, and also we amplify new tools and resources. We know there is Windows information across multiple sites, across Microsoft security website, blogs, and we try to promote all these important resources about Windows in our message center. And you see in the images, you have two screens, a blue one and a gray one. The blue one shows our main page on the public site, on the Microsoft Learn site. And the second one shows the Windows Release Help experience on the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. That is an authenticated tool. So some customers with eligible subscription have access to the Microsoft 365 Admin Center and can see the Windows content there. And the main announcements, the major issues are documented in both sites, but the Microsoft 365 Admin Center is a premium experience. So we're going to post more reminders, focus more on commercial issues, give more technical details. So you can be you can trust that major issues are going to be on both, but we're going to have more content in the admin center. So we can start showing the admin center. Santosh is going to talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, thanks, Mabel.
Okay, let me share. Santosh, I'm with the message center page up. Can you see?
Okay, awesome. Yep, I can see that. Perfect. Thank you, Mabel, for that overview. Now we'll go through a short demo on M365 Admin Center and the availabilities that we have here. So right now, Mabel has pulled up in her private browser the M365 Admin Center on the Message Center page. As you can see, there are various areas that you can view Windows content. There is your inbox and your archive tab. You can set your preferences with the preferences icon there. We can click on that real quick and see. Awesome. So in the preferences flyout that we'll see here, we have a custom view as well as an email view where we can set where you as users can set email notifications for Message Center posts. You can add up to 2 emails, select the different areas that you would like to see in your custom view, for example. So if you click on email, yep, here you can say you can set your primary email and your other email addresses that you would like to receive notifications on, and then select which emails you want to get. So this could be send emails for major updates, send weekly digests about Dynamic 365 apps as selected, or Exchange Online, anything like that. And you can update and save your preferences accordingly based on what you would like to see as alerts from Message Center. So, and then we can, yep, and if you click on each of those Message Center posts, you can view the post, the message summary, the highlights. For in this instance, you see the highlights for Windows 11 version 21H2 update, as well as the links to the KV articles. And you also have links here for archive, share, copy link, and mark as unread. So it's an easy way to view your Message Center posts, as well as set your preferences for the types of emails you want to receive, as well as the custom view that you want to see on your M365 Admin Center. Now I think we can move on to the Windows Release Health tab. When you click here, with your admin access, you'll be able to see your Windows Release Health, all versions, different tabs here for all versions, known issues, as well as history. So If you look at known issues, it'll show you the current known issues as well as the status, the originating KB, the build, the date, resolved KB, and the resolved date, and when it was last updated as well. So you have a plethora of information here for each of the known issues. And then if you click on the history tab, you can see the known issues from the past, and you can see and view as the same information as you would for the current known issues. So on each of these tabs, you'll see that there's also a preferences icon that you can click on for Windows Release Health. When you click on the preferences icon, you'll see the email tab. And here, this is actually a new feature that we launched on May 3rd. I'm sure many of you have seen the communications about that already, but you're able to receive known issue alerts directly in your email whenever a known issue is published or whenever the issue has a status change. So here you can enter up to 2 email addresses separated by a semicolon, as Mabel is showing here, and you can select which products you would like to receive email alerts from. So here, all of them are selected, but you can really select as many or as little as you want, or ones that pertain to your organization. Once the emails are entered and then the products are selected, you can hit the save button. Just a note, after hitting the save button, it does take up to 8 hours for the email preferences to be saved. But as soon as that is saved and up and running, you'll be able to receive any notifications for known issues directly in your email and for the email addresses that you chose. And here you can also click on each known issue title. Here you can see that it shows the status, the user impact, when it was last updated, the latest message. You can view history directly from there. So there's links there for easy access. There are KB article information as well as links in the message itself. So you can view more about the known issue. This is also available via the email notifications or email alerts that you would receive in your email inbox, but I'll show that once this demo is over as well. Awesome. I think I'll reshare the PowerPoint to continue. Awesome. Click back to where we were. Okay, so as you saw in the demo that Mabel shared her screen for, we have email notifications directly from Mem365 Admin Center that you can set up. We showed you both the Message Center email preferences that you can enter up to 2 email addresses for, as well as for Windows Release Health known issues. This is something that many customers have come to us in the past about, especially for known issues, where they would like to see almost immediate notifications whenever a known issue is updated or a known issue is published, instead of just constantly going back to M365 Admin Center to check up on a known issue. This way, you're able to be alerted more proactively and more efficiently so that you can see and stay updated on each of your products. Here I'm showing a screenshot of how the email should look like in your inbox when you click on it. This is from a previous known issue from the last week, where we have local security authority protection is off. You can see that there's a status, affected platforms in a table format. You can click on each of those message IDs. And in the body of the email, you have more information about the known issue in terms of KB article numbers as well as affected platforms. You have a little blurb about the workaround as well as the resolution. And then in the footer, you can see that there is a link to set your Windows Release Health preferences. If this is an email that you didn't want to receive, or a product that you want to change your preferences for, you can go directly click on that link and it'll take you to M365 Admin Center. So you're able to adjust your preferences accordingly. But this is how an email alert would look like if you were to receive one after setting your preferences on M365 Admin Center. Here's an example of an email for a major update email through Message Center. So this is what we were demoing before, where you can set your preferences for Message Center as well. Here we have latest Windows hardening guidance and key dates. See, in this email, it's very similar to the known issue one, but we have some information in the body when this major update will happen, more information how it'll affect your organization and what you need to do to prepare. There's also a list of links for additional information. There's a footer here also if you would like to unsubscribe to these emails at any time. But that can also be easily adjusted on M365 emails, Admin Center through your preferences. Here is an email example of a weekly digest through Message Center, something that you can also set your preferences for if this is something you would like to receive via email. Here we have a summary of our Message Center announcements with major updates, additional updates, new details on desktop applications, as well as joining our Windows office hours on May 18th. But this is something that you can regularly receive as a weekly digest if, when setting up your preferences on M365 Admin Center. Now we'll, as we wrapped up showing you the M365 Admin Center demo and how you can set your preferences and email notifications, Mabel will walk you through the Windows Release Health on MicrosoftLearn.com, our public platform.
Thanks, Santosha. I see we have a lot of great comments and content on the M365 Admin Center, so I think we can pause a little bit and
Sure.
Go over them. Rochelle,
Yeah,
do you want to read?
Yeah, let me grab a few of the questions that we have coming in. First of all, thank you everyone for putting in questions and feedback. It's super helpful, so keep it coming. Let's see. From Matt, I like the new email notifications. Are there any plans to make this more robust, i.e. if we want an email notification on known issues, on a new patch, etc.?
Yeah, this is a great question. Right now, for instance, if you sign up for the email, you're gonna see, you're gonna receive an email every time the issue is updated. The issue is documented, say this is open, you're investigating, and you're gonna receive a follow-up email every time there is an update. If you just change the status, like, oh, you confirmed this is an issue that is actually caused by a Windows update, we're gonna work on a resolution. So you're gonna see every step of the issue being followed up by one email, including if it's resolved by a Windows update. So let's suppose if you are following an issue that's gonna be addressed, that just have been addressed with Windows update released yesterday, you're gonna receive an email say, this issue is now resolved by this update, link for the KB for more information. So we are going to be able, if you sign up, to go to have information every step of the known issue. So yeah, we wouldn't have a separate emails about the release and what it's solving, but you would have a receive information of every status of the cycle of the issue.
Perfect. Thanks, Mabel. It looks like we also have a couple of people asking if the Windows Release Health dashboard will be added to GCC. Can either of you speak to that?
Yeah, that's good. We receive a lot of feedback on that. Santosha, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. I can talk about it and feel free to add. Yeah, we actually got a lot of feedback about that in the beginning when we were doing our pilot program for this email notification feature. One of our customers was a GCC tenant, and we didn't have that availability for them to sign up for their preferences on Windows Release Health on M365 Admin Center. That is something that we're looking into currently. We're working with both our dev team as well as one of our partner teams who is working on our pipeline for the email notifications feature to address that issue and see if that is something that we can provide GCC tenants with in the future. So that is being actively investigated and worked on. But whenever we have an update on that and whenever that is available, we'll be sure to let you know.
Perfect. Okay, from Youssef, we have, is it possible to add 2 distribution list email addresses in the notification preferences?
Yeah, I can answer that. Yeah, you can add any email addresses in the 2 email addresses that you can include. This includes distribution lists, but yeah, that shouldn't be no problem at all to add 2 distribution lists to the preferences.
Perfect. Let's see, just making sure. Is it possible to register only for weekly digest email notifications, and how do you register?
Yeah, I can answer that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna show my screen here for Message Center for filtering by Windows. But if you go to the Message Center, you're gonna see the option of, you click in preference, you're gonna see the option for email. And you can select just the, you don't need to select the major update. If you just select, yeah, we don't need to select send me major update. So then you're gonna receive the weekly digest here. Send a weekly digest about services I selected. We don't send weekly digests for known issues at the moment, just for Message Center. And the weekly digest is gonna have all the products you select. Right now, I personally have selected this product, so that's every Sunday I receive an email with a summary of notifications published for the services, and there is a link so I can land directly on the Message Center here too. So yes, you can select just send the weekly digest for Message Center. You just don't need to check the box for major updates. That is the most the issues, the content that are requiring urgent action, and they are sent immediately. You don't need to select send me emails about data privacy message. This right now doesn't work for Windows, just for the other service. And then you select send me a weekly digest about the service I select. That's how you can receive it.
Perfect. Thanks, Mabel. I'm going to throw one more question out and then I'll let you guys get back to the presentation. Windows Health is specifically for Windows releases. Feature releases for applications aren't included. Is that correct?
The Windows Release Health pages are going to have information about feature releases too. So if you have, if you're releasing, you have general availability of our annual Windows 11, for instance, features, or a new server feature, we're going to announce it there. And you're also going to document issues that were associated with that feature. Sometimes a new feature update had an issue that is not caused by a monthly update. And for instance, we're going to document that too. So for instance, you see there is a lot of issues. There is a not applicable originating KB. Those are because sometimes they're not caused by a monthly update, or they are part of the feature update. So we also talk about annual feature updates, about the new versions of Windows, and not only about the monthly security and non-security updates. So we talk about all the type of Windows updates, quality, monthly quality and feature updates, the annual new versions that are shipped to with improvements.
Awesome.
And Rochelle, I saw a specific question about this issue here. I can respond quickly that you sent an email this week. The change that you had in this content is that the issue in the email was mitigated before we were investigating, trying to get reproduction, trying to confirm that it could be saved by Windows Update. So what changed in that email for the person who asked me, sorry, I forgot your name. We changed
Sebastian.
the status. Oh, Sebastian. Yes, and the resolution. We could confirm this fix are going to be shipped in a future update. So the change on the message was regarding the status and the next steps. We can confirm that we're going to fix this issue in a release coming.
Perfect. Okay, we can take a little pause in Q&A and you can continue on with your demo.
So yes, now we're going to talk about the public Windows Release Health. The site was created in 2019, and it's what you say, it's a one-stop shop where you can have official information about Windows releases and servicing milestone. And you talk about releases, we're talking about the feature updates, the monthly releases, servicing milestones like end of servicing, and resources, tools, and news about known issues and safeguard holds. And our goal is that people feel prepared to apply their updates, knowing what is in each update, what are the improvements that are available, what issues are being fixed, and also what issues can be introduced with an update. So this is our, what you call our hub page. Here, we want to make it easy for you to navigate to any page you're interested. This site starts with what you call cards. Those are links for important announcements. For instance, we have a lot of questions. This site is also, since it's public, it's also open for consumers, people that are using their devices in their homes. So we receive a lot of questions. How do I get this update? So that's one of the main articles we highlight, how to get this update. Also, we have big announcements yesterday. So for instance, we're highlighting this. Windows 10 is still a version that a lot of people are asking about. So we have this highlight. We keep explaining how to get updates as soon as available. This is more for home users. We have links for our Windows release information that has a list with technical information about each release. And also, because it's a lot, we have a lot of different types of updates. This is an interesting article that we pinned here explaining what are the type of updates we have. Security, no security, out of band, annual update. So this is a good article to keep up with our also terms and language. We have here a link to our message center where we have announcements. For instance, we announced that yesterday that you had the May non-security release was available. We talked about the innovations get to Windows 11. So it's a place you can see both learn about new resources when you go to Message Center and reminders about important steps to take, releases available. Sometimes we'll also highlight important security advisories too. So it's like if you want to see information about Windows that could be spread across different websites, the Message Center is a good page to follow, and I'm gonna go to that page later. Here we have also links to get information for the version of Windows you're interested. If you're using, for instance, the Windows 11 version 22H2 that was launched last year, you have links for known issues, resolved issues, release notes, the release information, and more information about how to download it. And you have the same information customized for each version you want to learn about. And in Microsoft, you have different websites. This is the learn.com, we have the support.com, we have the security guide, and all of them have information about Windows, but you want to make it easier for you to have one place that you have everything connected. And if you scroll to the bottom of the page, we're always announcing our office hours. If you want to talk with the engineers behind the work, you can join office hours. You can submit feedback via Feedback Hub. If you have a bug that is annoying you or if you're more concerned, you can submit feedback. And also, if you need urgent help, you can go to Get Help app and get support from Microsoft agents too. So from here, I'm going to go to the known issues page. Those are the pages that have more clicks and make sense. People are interested and know what's going on. Then when you land here in this learn page, you're going to see you have our menu to the left with all the versions you want to check. So you can see the details. And every version is going to have a known issues and notification page and a page for resolved issues. So we start the page explaining what is the goal of the page, saying you can go to Get Help if you don't find your issue here, or also go to the support.com if you need to talk to an agent if the information here is not helpful for you. So we have the blue box where we have information about the availability of the feature update. So in this case, Windows 11 version 22H2 is broadly available at this point, and we explain how to get it, and also how automatic updates work for consumer and non-managed business devices, not managed by Microsoft. We have also links for important announcements, and here you have our table for the known issues that are open or resolved in the last 30 days. In addition to information to safeguard hold, we don't have a search button specific for this page, so we recommend folks use Ctrl F to find information here if you're using Microsoft Edge. But we have right now 9 known issues documented. You see the not applicable, or those are issues that started with a feature update or not by a Microsoft update. And all those tables, you can see a little summary of the issue, the originating update, the status, if you're still just listen to reports or looking at the reports, if you're investigating, if you're confirming this issue is a real issue that's caused by Microsoft, it's mitigated or it's resolved. Mitigated is usually when you have a workaround without a fix on the update. And you can see when you last found information about this issue. So if you go to an issue, for instance, here, you're gonna see also a table with summary. We usually start with symptoms describing what caused the issue, how you're gonna see, how you're gonna feel the issue. If you have an error message, we write that so it's easier for you to identify the kind of like evidence to confirm you are experiencing this issue. If you have a workaround, we are gonna explaining how to mitigate the issue, and we in the next steps we say what is your next action once the issue is resolved too. We're gonna add the resolution. Yeah, I can go to the resolved issue so you can see some how they look like, but the resolved page is also similar. Some issues they can be resolved externally by a partner company, or if the issue is caused by an update, we are gonna document the update here. For instance, this issue was resolved with a Windows update, so we have the link here so you can see all the information. In addition to the known issues page, you also have the release information pages. We have the release information pages for Windows 11. We also have for Windows 10 and also have for Windows Server. And the goal of this page is to explain how the feature updates are available, the dates that they were released, the end of servicing, and also a list of the all quality updates available. So a lot of people scrape data from this page. I think it's relevant. We receive feedback about APIs and how to use that better. I'd love to hear your feedback here too. If you have any suggestions, please put in the chat and we're gonna talk about it. But scrolling here, you can see, for instance, the first table we have for the servicing channels and the dates of availability. The last update available, we have the date with the latest build and the end of service for different dates. And you know, it's a lot to track. That's why we have announcements with reminders, especially in the admin center. We send reminders months before if you can. And here we also remind folks that it's coming on our message center for this page. So you can keep track here and also sign up for our alarms and keep looking at the message center. And here you have a release history with all quality updates, security, non-security updates that were made available. You have the availability date, the build number, and the KB article links. And if you scroll down, you're gonna have this table for the previous version of Windows 11, that is 2021 H2. So that is a good place if you need information about any specific release. Oh, going back to the known issue page, I forgot to share something kind of new too. We created more sections here to help folks based on some feedback from our survey. So a lot of people say, great, I look at your page, but I still have a problem that I need to report. So we create these 3 new sessions: report a problem with Windows updates, need help with Windows updates, and view the site in your language. So you can report issue in Feedback Hub. Here have the link to make it easier for you. But also if you need to talk to an agent, we have links here for talking to more people. For instance, the support community, that's answer.com. And also you have support for business if you want to leverage our customer support team. And also we received some feedback where folks having a hard time to find localization. So we explain how to find localization here. For this page, you're currently localized in English, and then 10 languages more, 11 languages in total. And here explain how to do it. You basically come here and you select your language. It's gonna work for the 8 language you mentioned here, the 11 languages you mentioned here. So in addition to the known issues page, to the release information page, we also have the message center page where we have our announcements. I would advise people to look here weekly. So for instance, our last announcements were about the preview, the non-security updates available yesterday with highlights. We amplified Hannah's announcement from Build and other blogs about the innovations coming to Windows 11. We amplified Build, have reminders about, for instance, Internet Explorer 11, what are the changes in the migration for Edge, promoting office hours. So we have a lot of reminders, announcements of resources. For instance, changes that you need to pay attention to, the hardening changes we're talking about. So we update this page multiple times a week, and you have content here for the past 6 months. We don't have alerts for this page at this moment, so if you want to have a weekly digest or receive an email about something that you consider major, you would need to use the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So that's the overview. Our newest resource here were this integration via links with CSS on the known issues page. But this is how it works. Basically, we have the release information page with information, technical information, and links about all the recent updates. We have the known issues page, and you have the message center page for all supported versions of Windows and some previous versions here. So that's all for this. I hope you're using this site. This is our newest content. Santoshi showed the newest features we have, and now we can go to more questions.
Awesome. Thanks, Mabel. I am just scanning through these to see which ones we haven't addressed. So, okay, I have one from Anonymous. I am more of an application manager. It would be helpful if I could create planner tasks for specific issues from the message center. Is this something that might be on the roadmap?
Not at the moment, but this is a great feedback. On the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, have the sync with Planner for the message center, and that's helpful for actually to take for changes that are coming. But I also understand it makes sense that you wanna, on the known issues page, you also wanna have sync with Planner, so you can create tasks and give tasks to other people. So this is a great suggestion. I appreciate it. Not in the roadmap, but you're gonna take action, investigated it.
Another similar question or piece of feedback, we have Eric asking if it's a critical issue, would it be possible to have a flag in Teams instead of email, since a lot of us are always in Teams?
We haven't explored this opportunity. That would be cool. Yeah, we can investigate with the team side. That would be yeah, that is a great idea outside our current tools right now, but that is a great idea. We can explore. I appreciate that.
Perfect. We have another one. I don't know if this was before you started demoing, but this person was asking, why doesn't the web page include references for other server versions, such as 2019?
Yes, so it has here. I can go to, we have the server 2022, but you also can go to earlier versions. So you have the versions that are in support for server 2019, 16, yeah, and 22 H2, and server 2012. Yes.
Are you trying to share something, Mabel?
Oh, sorry. I thought I was sharing because I'm seeing my screen. Let me show here. Thank you. There. Sorry.
No worries.
So our menu can go You can expand a lot. It comes here, but if you expand here, we're gonna see other versions. So we have Server 2019 here. No niches in Resolve. We'll also have other versions of Server here. If you look previous versions too.
Perfect.
2012, R2, yeah, 2008. So we have more here.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, we have a question from Susan, which I believe something similar was also submitted in the feedback form. So from Susan, is there any thought to add a "we're investigating, but these issues have not been confirmed"? So for things that are perhaps trending on Reddit, but we haven't come to a conclusion yet.
Yes, this is always a hard decision. We have this status reported. Use it more on the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, because when also we have cautions, right? If you see that in our feedback or social media, that is not a high volume, and we still don't have another, like a very concrete symptom, we try to wait until this is a little bit more concrete so we don't create more concern with folks that are not seeing the issue. But yeah, we do that more frequently on the Microsoft 365 Admin Center that focus only on commercial. But that is a goal we have, to be able to detect faster, even if it's are reported issues that it can confirm. But you just want to make sure that we do that with concrete symptoms, so folks like understand they can have a little bit more advance if they have it or not. But I understand that is helpful, so folks can know, like, hey, we are seeing this. At least have an acknowledgement. I think this is a good suggestion that we can do more of.
Yep. Okay, from Aaron, our tenant doesn't have Release Health available. Is it still rolling out?
No, it should be available for all eligible customers. You need to have certain subscriptions of Microsoft 365 and Windows. Is E3, E5, there's a list that you can share here on the chat. We have listed on some of our comms too. And you also need to have been using an admin role that has access to the content. I would say most of admins have. If you have an admin role with the word admin, most of them are going to give you access. But like for sure, a service admin has it, global admin has it. But yeah, we have more than 50 roles that have access. So I'll just check. We can share the list of subscriptions and see if you have the subscription. And if you're using one of the admins that has the word admins and you're not seeing it, I would request support. But the first step is to check if you have an eligible subscription. And you can paste the subscriptions here in the chat in a minute.
Perfect. And it looks like someone's asking what the least admin role required to set up Windows Release Health or Message Center. So I'm assuming that's also included in some of that documentation you're going to share.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Most admins would have it. And even if you're using admin for other products like Exchange, Skype, others, you can grant access. We can link to this documentation. You have some links at the end of the deck, and we can send via email too.
Okay. Let's see. So it says, it looks like the known issues pages are updated once a month with new issue details. How do we subscribe or know when that page gets updated with the latest issues?
We publish known issues on the public dashboard and this one, and on the M365 Admin Center multiple times a month. Every time we can confirm there is an issue or there is an update in an issue, we go and update it. So I would say if you experience an issue, I would advise to come here and check to see if it's something posted recently. So looking at the last updated dates is a good indicator. We usually have a table of summary, so you don't need to look a lot. but notifications here are not available in this website. It's available just on the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. That is our site for premium subscriptions and with premium features.
Thanks, Mabel. Okay, from Susan, can you make it easier to add a permission for a reader of the console, or can you put the how to add permissions in an obvious link?
Yeah, I think you can do that. We can create more guidance. We have documentation on how to do that, and there's other documentation from Windows, also from the Admin Center. We can share this link. And Santoshi and I have been working and make it clear. There's so many roles, right, Santoshi, right now that we want to consolidate. If you want to add anything, Santoshi, also feel free.
Yeah, no, there are many roles that you can access our M365 Admin Center Windows Release Health page and Message Center page for. We are actively and currently working on seeing if we can make a singular role that would be very clear for our customers that if they subscribe to, or if they're an admin for this singular role, then they can also be assured that they have access to Windows Release Health and Message Center. But that is being actively investigated and worked on as well. But yeah, as Mabel explained earlier, and we'll share more information about those roles that you would need for access.
Thank you. It looks like we have kind of feedback, kind of questions. So from Brandon, he's mentioning Laps had an interop issue caused by the April 23 cumulative update. However, this didn't make it to Release Health. Should it have? So I think what would be great is if you guys could, elaborate on kind of how things make it versus don't make it into Windows Release Health dashboard.
Yeah, our main documentation goal here for regressions. I think what he mentioned was sounds like a more serious issue. We don't document like design bugs or smaller bugs. We document main issues that could impact folks rolling out, issues that have a broad scope of impact. You can see that it would hurt thousands of IT admins, hundreds of organizations, and also issues that would impact productivity for home users too. And it needs to be associated with Windows. So we have our engineering team that looks at multiple channels of feedback sent via Feedback Hub, via folks' devices. Also look at the customer support calls. So when you have enough evidence and reports externally or also in internal investigations, and you can confirm that it's associated, affecting Windows or created by Windows, we're gonna document it. But this issue specifically, I can take a look more, but yeah, mainly we document issues that have a broad scope of impact productivity of organizations, of individuals, and can be addressed via Windows updates or are very close related to managing Windows updates.
Perfect. And it looks like there's a lot of feedback coming in about transparency and things popping up on Reddit that are known issues. So we'll definitely take that feedback back to our teams so that they understand that this is definitely a pain point. So thank you for your honest feedback. We hear you. I don't see any other questions that we haven't answered.
Yeah, and I think this is a great feedback. I think this is a struggle of every documenting team: go fast and go accurate. You can go very fast and actually not have accurate information and generate more work. but also can go fast just to acknowledge. So there is a balance that you need to strive, and I appreciate feedback. We can go faster for some of the issues, yes.
Okay. So it doesn't look like we have any more questions to answer, so I will go ahead and start wrapping things up. Thank you everyone for joining and being so active in the Q&A. That's really helpful for us. We will send a recap email out to those of you who attended today. It will include all of the resources that Mabel and Santoshi shared throughout the presentation. We'll also make sure to include some of the links we mentioned when we were answering your questions. There will also be a link to the feedback form that we've made available, and that's just another way for you to provide direct feedback and questions to our team, and we'll make sure and prioritize getting back to you on that. But again, we really appreciate you participating today and giving us feedback. It's just, we can't say enough about how helpful it is. It really helps us prioritize what we want to focus on and what's going to be the highest value for our customers. So thank you all, and we look forward to the next call. Thank you again, Mabel and Santoshi, for a great presentation, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your day.
Thank you. That was a great event. Really appreciate the feedback. It was awesome to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.